everyone, and welcome to the Front Porch Knitter. My name is Lucy Ann, and I am the Front Porch Knitter, and you can find me as the Front Porch Knitter most places. You can see the details down below. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about my knitting mostly, and some other crafts. I do spin, and well, I do almost everything, but right now I'm only doing a few things. And yeah, I have a weird shadow on me, so I'm not sure what that's about, but it's that time of day and that time of year where we probably can't make it any better than it is. So we're going to talk about some knitting and other fibery things I get up to. And thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome. If you've been before, thanks for coming back, because, you know, there's no guarantees, and I'm glad you're here. I do this mostly because I need to talk about my knitting, and the easiest way to do that is this way, when I can't be with other knitty friends. Honestly, if it's not about golf or hockey, my husband isn't that interested, although he's very tolerant of my knitting projects. They sort of take over our living room by times. It is December 23rd, so yes, there are a million other things I should be doing, but this is where I want to be, so here I am. And I wanted to get an episode out before the end of the year, and this sort of seemed like a good day because there's not very many people in the house, and it'll give me the best opportunity to chat with you for a little bit. So let's get started. Oh, my camera just moved all by itself. It might be possessed, but I don't think so. I probably bumped it, or who knows what. Let's see if we can, well, this way you can read my signs. And this one up here. And let's just bring you back this way a tiny bit. There. It's just gonna drift. That's okay. Could be because the tripod's getting older, or maybe it's just tired because it's the end of the day, who knows. So let's get started. We're going to follow sort of the traditional format: finished objects, works in progress, some acquisitions, some plans, and we'll go from there. So I don't know if you've been adventing, but I have, and I'm very happy to say I am, for any of the advent plans I had, I am up to date and or finished. So some of my finished objects were adventy things. So let's start with this. Is the Merrymaking, this was the Merrymaking Cowl by Tellybean Knits. It'll be linked down below. It was a 12-day, 1 clue a day mystery knit along. And yeah, I finished it on time. I'm so excited. Having said that, the first 12 days of December are probably the easiest 12 days. Let me just put it on, see if we can not mess the hair up too much. This is when tilting you back is going to be helpful. Oops, not that much. Oh, well, we'll leave you there for a minute. That's not too bad. So you can see it. Because it is a little bit longer than a regular cowl would be, you do get this really nice, but to make everything show up, I can just turn it in and then adjust it a little bit, and then you can see it. So there were, the first day was just like a little garland, and then there were some bricks, and I don't know what that really is. It probably told me in the pattern. A little textured section, and then wreaths, snowflakes, Christmas trees on little red trucks, a little peppermint stick, and some reindeer. And it is very cozy. And I do have the leftover yarns. So I did this from Stash. There were kits you could order, but I did it from Stash. And I know what most of the yarns are. The one I don't know is this sort of pepperminty green color, but I think this was, so I actually think this was a Leo and Roxy from a mystery bag I got, because it was a part skein, and I had, well, I made it be enough to finish out my cowl. And then these two are Yarn Indulgence. This one is Emerald in Hermaralt, and this one is, let me see if I can find it, Poinsettia. And those were in my stash. Does it surprise you that there was Yarn Indulgence yarn in my stash? It shouldn't. Those are in my stash. This, the white, is just Paton's Kroy in muslin. So it's like an off-white. And it's one of the ones I almost always have in my stock for doing heels, toes, and cuffs. And then it said in the original, she used like a silvery gray. But when I held it with the other colors, it just was too washed out, the silvery gray I had. So I went with this, which is light gray, is the colorway. And this was just a Fave Socks, another yarn I use for heels, toes, and cuffs normally. And it's the one color in here that I still don't love. Like maybe I don't know what I could have gone with differently though. That would have been enough contrast with the white, but didn't look washed out. Anyway, if I'd had a silvery gray that I loved, maybe that would have worked, but I didn't. So it didn't take a huge, these were full skeins. This was, I don't even think this was a half skein, the light green. And in retrospect, I did use quite, like there was a lot of it in the cowl. And I used it, like I don't even see a scrap in here. So I must have used it up pretty much completely. And I'm going to put those up on the shelf. And the 50 grams of the sock yarn, I still had quite a bit left of each of them. So you could easily do this with bits and bobs from, and there's nothing to say, like who knows, this pink, I don't even see it. Who knows what I did with it? It's not in the bag. There's some of it downstairs, I think. It was, oh, I do know what it is. It is an Oopsie by Botanical Fibers. It was a skein that just had some flecks of the wrong color on it, but it wasn't going to matter in this project anyway, so I used it here. But you could for sure do this from leftovers or scraps of stash, and you wouldn't have to repeat the same colors. Like you could have, made your reindeer not the same color as the trucks, and it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, it's kind of fun. It's very warm because you have a lot of fabric around your neck. But yeah, it's a little deeper around your neck than a normal cowl is, but that also makes it nice and cozy. And, you know, if I did one of hers again, I know some things I might do differently that I've learned from doing other cowls, like leaving a bit of an opening in the back so it just lays a little flatter and things. But I do like it. And now I have all these motifs I can use other places, which is kind of cool. And I had this project in my Santa bag that my friend Heidi made me. Let's see, I'm cutting my head off here again. Let's try that. See if she stays there. My friend Heidi made for me. I love it. She always makes me such nice things. It's good to have friends who understand the whole thing. Then the other Advent thing I did, look at this. Look at her. This is Nana the gnome, and she has this beautiful hooded cape on, and under her cape she has on her lovely traditional Norwegian dress. And if you're looking at it and going, mine doesn't look exactly like that, that would be because I got the colors mixed up. So my colors aren't in exactly the same order as they were supposed to be. I got my kit from Timber Yarns, And so it came with these very cute little glasses, which I think you can see them. And it also came with, well, Timber Yarns always comes with a hot chocolate and these little stitch markers, little gnome stitch markers, which I did not use. Oops, let's switch hands. Which I did not use on my project, but are very cute. So that was kind of cool. And I had this project in my 2 Sticks in You Christmas Gnomes bag. And because I mixed the colors up a little bit and didn't use them exactly how they were supposed to be used, I have almost well, I mean, I have a tiny bit of the green and the red left and quite a bit of the charcoal and vanilla, I think it was called. Let me tell you what the colors were called. Yes, vanilla is the off-white. Licorice is the charcoal color. It's actually one of my favorites. I often order, when I place an order with Timber, I usually add in a couple of licorice minis because I like them for heels, toes, and cuffs. The green was forest, and the red was red. So this is by Imagine Landscapes, this mystery cowl, and it ends on the winter solstice. I did add this tie to the cape. The cape could have been sewn on, so it was a permanent fixture, or there were other options like a little button. Some of the kits came with little buttons you could put on it. I just did an I-cord and made a tie. There she is, their little arms. I love her braids. She's a real blonde, this one. That vanilla color is a great, makes her very blonde. But she'll go down with my other, I have my winter gnomes out right now, so she'll go with them. Her name is Nana. If you've never knit a gnome and would like to try, the Imagine Landscapes ones are amazing. And Sarah does such a great job. The Christmas one, or the winter, whatever you want to call it, ends at the winter solstice. This one did. So that's also nice because it was done on Saturday, which means these next 2 days when things are busier, I don't have to feel like everything is like that I'm getting behind because I already have it done. And it's also nice because there's not knitting every single day. So if it takes you a couple of days to do one of the sections, that's okay, because on that day maybe it's a recipe or a story or a picture to color or any number of other things. Like, she's very creative and very imaginative, and yeah, I'm very happy with her. Nana visited her family this year. That was the little story that went with the knit along. And yeah, they didn't know she was coming. It was a surprise, and it didn't exactly go the way they planned, but that's okay. So that pattern, you can still get the pattern. Obviously, it's not a mystery anymore because all the clues have been released, but you could knit Nana. And Sarah has, most of the year, there's a knit along going on. She also does a Year of Gnomes. I'm pretty sure she's doing it this year, the Year of Gnomes, where if you knit a gnome every month, there's prizes and things you can get and things you can do, which is kind of cool. And I've done that before. Gnomes are kind of fun because they each have their own personality. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen pictures of my gnomes. I change them up seasonally. And yeah, they're fun to knit, and they just take little bits of yarn. So you always have scraps that you can use to make them. And they're great gifts. Like, they could be made as a toy. I do not make mine at that level. Mine certainly wouldn't be safe for small children, but they are still fun and yeah, make great little gifts. I actually have one hanging on my tree that somebody gave me, but you could make them to hang on your tree. And she has lots of patterns, and I'll make sure all those things will be linked below. the current patterns, and you'll be able to find the makers and what yarns I used and all those things. You'll be able to find it all down below. So I finished that, which is kind of cool. I also finished, I'm not going to put this one on, although I could. This one's even warmer than the one I have on now. The Oppose cowl. And this is by Laura Ayler. See how all the lines come in differently. Laura Ayler Fogbound Knits. And it's done in Malabrigo Mecha. And I'm pretty sure this colorway is, I want to say whale tail. I knit this, I used 2 skeins. I don't have the tag in here anymore. And this is how much I have left. I didn't weigh it, sorry. But it's so lovely and soft and squishy. And this just goes to show there is a sample of this on display at the Little Red Mitten, and that is absolutely why I knit it. I knit it because there was a sample and I saw it and I liked it. And I really like the way the neck is on this one. And I don't know if I'm keeping it for me or I'm giving it away, but it's also one that could be for either gender because it's very simple. It's just lines. And this Mecha is very, very soft. It is beautiful yarn. That does make it probably a bit pricier cowl. Not that it's not worth it, but you could certainly do it out of another bulky yarn that wouldn't feel quite the same, but would keep people warm. So I really like it. And I love the depth of the color. And I can't remember. It must be seamed. I can't even remember. I knit it a while ago, but I did enjoy it. And it knit up very, very quickly, which was great. Also, since I chatted with you last, of course, I've been to the East Coast. And while I was there, I finished my Dark and Stormy socks that I showed you in the last episode that I was knitting for my cousin, as well as I made him a musselburgh hat out of some yarn I got from my friend Marissa from Pretty Little Yarns, Dye Pretty. And that was cast on and finished while I was there. And I think that's all I left behind there that you won't see that was started before. There are things I haven't worked on because in December I do try to only knit on things I want to work on, which is kind of bad in a way because I do have some, in quotation marks, obligation knitting. The cable knit sweaters I'm supposed to be working on for my aunt, for her grandkids, but it's not as relaxing. And this time of year, I need things to be relaxing because there's just a lot going on. And yeah, we'll talk about that more in a few minutes, but you wouldn't believe what's going on, but that's okay. And I also finished my Seasons of Socks autumn socks and these are a collaboration between Les Garçons and Michelle at Woolens and Nosh. And so I got these done, and I did the heel toe dosey dough pattern by Kayla Litton, which is nice for a self-striping yarn. This is I'm pretty sure this is the Targhee base. It is so nice. I love it. Just love it. And these are for me. I'm sorry, when I buy special things, I like this, they're for me. And, you know, I do have probably, let's see how much I have left. That was in this bag. I might have enough to do a pair of shorties or I actually have quite a bit left, actually. I'd have to weigh it to see for sure. I had to wind off a bit of a nugget so that they matched, but I haven't weighed it yet. I could make shorties, I'm pretty sure, for my daughter. She wears shorties, and that would work. And they're in my cute little bag from MOQ Bags, which is my friend Donna Bannister. But these are gorgeous. And I really like that they come with a 30-gram mini, because then you can for sure do heels, toes, and cuffs. But I love the colors. And it was the most cost-effective way for me to get Michelle's yarn, because shipping to Canada from the US, first of all, is a ridiculous amount of money. It is insane. 1. 2, we have to pay duty usually. Probably not for a single skein, but it's this whole weighing out, getting better bang for your buck for shipping, and then you pay duty. So anyway, but it was a way for me to get it. And I'm getting the winter one as well, which should be coming soonish. I'm not sure exactly when it will come, but it shouldn't be too long. So I finished those, and then I finished these beauties. If you've been watching for a while, I got this yarn, I think last fall. These are the Let It Snow mitts by Amanda Clark from Sweet Skein of Mine. I am giving these away, I think. They're so soft and so cozy feeling, and I like that they have a nice long, I like my mittens to be long, because often my coats, because I have quite long arms, often my coats don't stay down as well as I like, so I like to have long mittens to help buffer but they do fit really nice. And this is an uber simple mitten pattern. There's no thumb gusset. They're just big enough that you just put in a thumb. They fit nicely. And these were done in Amanda's yarn. And I bought this, and I don't have the tags in here, so I don't remember what it's called, but it's Amanda's Slub. And her mohair, silk mohair, and they match. These might have been custom colors that she did just for the just for this kit, because it was you got the 2 yarns, and I think the pattern came with it too. I can't remember, but there's, I'm sure, I haven't weighed it, but I'm sure there's enough there for another pair, or maybe a beret or something else. I have to think about it. It's not going to be for Christmas, whatever it is, because that's the day after tomorrow. Although no one's coming till the next day, so I still have 2 days of knitting I could knit. But these make a really nice gift, especially for anyone, you know, who like walks a dog, or, you know, mittens aren't always great for driving, but if you have to be outside at all, and these are so soft. I just love them. So I think that's everything I finished. This is, I don't know whether you qualify this as finished or not. I did ply. I showed you the singles of, this is Firefly Haven, Firefly Haven Fibers. This was a braid, and it was called Wavelength. And I had the singles spun, and I did ply them, but I have not skeined and washed them. But I have 2.5 bobbins maybe to do up, and I just have to do it on, I do it on my Swift. I skein them up, and then I'll wash them and snap them and dry them, so they, you know, are a little more balanced, relax a little bit. So I did that, so they're not finished, but they're one step further than they were before, which is kind of cool. So what have I been working on? Well, you've seen a lot of it, this cowl and the gnome this month. I haven't really worked on a whole lot else that you like, except the finished objects that you've seen. I'm going to show you one of my Woolens and Nosh socks, where it's at today. I think I'm okay, because these come in this really cute bag. You can't see the yarn. It's down inside here. And it's a mystery. Now this year, everyone's skein did not start in the same place. So my my 22 colors, because I haven't done today's stripe yet. I usually do it in the evening. My 22 colors I have done might not be the same 22 colors you have done at this point. But because today's the 23rd, and this probably will go up sometime late overnight, there will only be, what I'm saying is, you will only have one color you haven't seen. So I don't really need to put a spoiler alert, but if you don't want to see it, look away. But this is mine so far. And I haven't got the heel in, which is why it looks sort of wonky on the blocker. I love how bright and bold these are. And I did do the Hearth Socks by Dana Ray Makes. And if I had been smarter, this is me, this is completely on me, I could have made it so the black lines, like omitted the purl row here and just done it as a knit, and it would have looked better. And just done the slip stitches up and down, and that would have been cooler. But you know what? They look pretty cool anyway, and the colors are freaking amazing. Look at that. And they're almost done. Like by the time I get the next 2 stripes in, I'll be ready for the toe. It worked out perfectly for me. I did 12 stripes on the leg and 12 stripes on the toe, or on the foot, and they'll fit me perfect. And I'm not going to open the bag because I still don't know what color my last 2 colors are. So because I don't know, I'm not going to show you, but I will get those caught up today and tomorrow. I'm so excited that I'm not behind on any of my Advent knitting, because normally I'm like, have given up by now. And so I was working on those. And I have been working on just a vanilla sock. And this is on a 9-inch circular. And the tag is not in the bag. Who knows where it is? My name tag is in here in case I forget who I am. But it's not in the bag. I'm pretty sure this is Comfort Sock, the same as the green one I showed you last time that I got at Little Red Mitten on their, something weird going on there, on their sale table. And these are my waiting room, traveling, doing whatever sock, just 64 stitches. I do a tube and then I cut in the heel and do a toe. And it is in my left my mind, top sale canvas. My top sale canvas pouch from my friend Sadie. I love these. They're great because if I throw it in the car and it gets disgusting, I can throw it in the wash. Yeah, can't beat that. And I drag them around all the time. So that is a work in progress. Then this one, which will lead into another one I'm going to show you. Every once in a while when I really need a fiber friends fix, just like I need to sip my tea, I go to Little Red Mittens knit night or whatever. Their knit night's normally Friday night. But last weekend, 2 weekends ago, so not this past Saturday, the Saturday before, they did a special morning event from 9 to 11 for people who had bought their Advent, because their Advent included this is going to look weird, but that's okay. This really cool bag, not giving anything away because that was what was in the top. And some embroidery yarns. And there's another one in here somewhere. And everything you needed. Where's the other one? They came like this. What's this one called? This is Steamy. This is one of their regular colors. That's Steamy on, it's a 55 superwash wool, 45 silk blend. And let's see what other things I have in here. Lazy Days, and what's the other one? Honest to goodness, I'm such a professional. Can you tell? I don't know what the other one was called. And this one is, the tag is in here. This one is Tranquil. And I don't know, one of these is Lazy Days. I think the yellow is Lazy Days and the green might be Spruce. But I can't find the green one. And the idea is you would embroider on the back of your bag. And so we got a sheet of ideas to use. And I am, so far, and we got a needle minder. And so far, I am putting on my name. So you just plan it out. They gave us some stabilizer as part of the, yeah. So I'm working on that. And it came with the needle minder on my project, but it also came with a needle and a little needle keeper, so everything stays together, which was kind of cool. Plus 24 minis, which was kind of fun. And the theme of their what is the word I want? Advent this year was awkward as flock. And this happened, you might have heard this story. I ended up getting this because I wasn't going to buy an Advent this year because I still have both of my Advents from last year that I've done nothing with. And I had put together, just in a swap we do with a bunch of my friends, another Advent. So another 24 skeins. And I didn't even remember to pack them up so I could open them. And I just thought, you know what, I don't really need another Advent. I do love to support my friends, but I didn't necessarily need another Advent, which was fine. And so but I was in the store one day. This is the worst. And Jolynn and Jillian were talking about the Advent and of course stuck the card in my bag. And Jolynn was walking around with the Bear embroidery flosses that she was getting ready to dye. I don't know what, she'd just come downstairs to do something else, I think. And so I needed to know, then I needed to know why she was dyeing embroidery yarn for the Advent. So I went home and I ordered it. I'm like zero willpower. Anyways, this is also a very cool Advent. This is the box it came in. You see a yarn sticking out. And they were each individually wrapped like this. I only have one left to open. And the cool thing is none of them are the same. They aren't the same order. They aren't necessarily the same yarns. Some of them are their regular, like this one is, oh no, that's not the one. There's a Meredith in here, I know. Yeah, there's Meredith. That's one of their standard colors they dye all the time. This one is Into the Storm, but there's a Tranquil in here too. I know I saw it. I don't know where it is right now. This is Spruce. It's one of my favorite. I've used this in a few projects. This is another one of my favorites. Creamsicle. Look at that. And Glow Stick. So those are regular colors they have. Plus there's some one-of-a-kinds in here. Like this one is a one-of-a-kind. But this is what the box looks like so far. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this really. So quite a bit going on in there. I am going to do, I say so far, there's only one more to open. I am going to do the triangle granny wrap, and I think it's Annie Boo's house. It's a free pattern. Lots of people are doing it. My friend Nancy's doing it, and it's at Pappy. Allie at Little Drops of Wonderful is doing it. She's done several of them before. Oops, sorry, kicked the thing. She's done several of them before, and I haven't done a crochet project, like a real crochet project, in a lot of years. Like, I was probably in university. I might have done, no, I did a blanket after I was married, but I can crochet, and I do crochet, but I am for sure a knitter first. But I thought that would be a fun thing to do. And because this is such an eclectic advent, doing a wrap with it would show off all the colors. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I had to order a new crochet hook to do it, so I think I have to do it now because I paid money for a new crochet hook. Because for whatever reason, it's been so long since I crocheted anything that my hooks are all just the old steel ones. Like, that was all there was when I crocheted at first. So I'm looking forward to doing this. That's going to be a lot of fun. What else have I got down here? Ooh, this, what I was actually working on this afternoon. So what is it going to be? A great big long 2x2 rib tube. Yes. And then it's going to be a headband. If you'll remember, I did for one of my son's girlfriends, I did her a penny gloves and an East Coast cowl in, not that you can see it right now because I'm at the end of the skein, but it's Aloft, Knit Picks Aloft in, I think the color's called Labrynth. And the base I had used for those was a skein of yarn from Yarn Indulgence, and I think it was called, it might have been called Evergreen. I can't remember. It'll be in my, I'll look it up in my notes. And I'd done her the cowl and the gloves because she was out on the beer cart this fall, and in the morning it was pretty cool. Anyways, I decided I had enough of the Aloft left. I should do her a headband. She doesn't really wear hats, but I thought I would do her a headband. It's just going to be one of those ones, you know, where you fold the two sides and stitch them and it looks like it's twisted in the front. And I did it in 2x2 rib. And I don't know, maybe 64 stitches. I have no idea what I have on there. I'm pretty sure this is a 3.25 needle. But I needed, because I needed a really vanilla project, but I don't always want to work on socks like that, sometimes too vanilla, because I've been really exhausted, and you'll find out why in a few minutes. So I cast this on, and when in looking for a green color, because the evergreen was gone because I did a cowl and a pair of penny gloves with it, I have this cone of Holst Super Soft, which I have a sweater made out of this. I've done a few things with it. These are tremendous value. If you can find a color that you can use for multiple things, they are good value. And it will be slightly different than the other one was, but the Labrynth is for sure still the predominant color. And this is perfect for TV watching, mindless. I can read and do this, which was really what I was looking for, something to read and do this. And sometimes I find if I work on 9-inch circulars for too long, my hands do get sore. And so I wanted another project to work on, because I have both my Advent socks and my waiting room socks are on 9-inch circulars. And I finished up a bunch of other stuff, and I just needed mindless but easy. So I'm doing those. It's not necessarily a Christmas gift. If I get it done, I might stick it in her stocking, but really it's just mindless knitting. So I'm also working on that. And as you know, I have all kinds of other things that I'm working on. And that's not really true. I am not a huge whip person. I do have the sweaters for my aunt's grandchildren that I'm working on, the cable knit one that I have to get working on again, but it's not in any way social knitting. It is absolutely and totally concentration knitting. So best done with music or maybe an audiobook, but not even looking up to watch TV. Like it's just too, like it's every stitch changes every row. So it's just, you have to be able to concentrate on it. But I do have those, and I have a sweater. I have a couple of socks on the go that are, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to write them up as designs or if I'm just making them. I did frog one back because I wasn't happy with a couple things. So I don't know what that means. But anyway, I did that, but I haven't knit anymore on it. And I have a sweater I started for Thomas that I was knitting flat. And I've decided I don't want to knit it flat. I'm going to frog what I've done, which wasn't very much, and steek it instead. Steek the sleeves and the neck, and just put in a what is the word I want? What is the word I want? Oh, put something maybe down the side to stabilize it a little bit, because that's the only thing you really need. Like, that's the biggest advantage of seaming versus knitting in the round, but knitting in the round just goes so much faster. And I prefer to do color work in the round than flat. So I've got to do that. And I think that's really all I have on the needles. So not a huge amount. Yeah, I'm not a huge whip person. Like, they don't languish very long. Like, if they're languishing, it's typically because they're going to get taken apart and something else done with them. So that's where they're at. Yeah. But I do have a few other things to work on. I have a hard time with commitment knitting. Has anyone noticed that? Has anyone noticed that I have that problem? Absolutely, I have that problem. So we need to get that under control. Because it's not that I don't want to knit them. It's just craziness. Anyway. So the other thing that's happening this episode that I didn't talk about yet is, and you need to stay tuned to, we'll do that. Actually, we'll do it now in case you don't want to listen to see my acquisitions or listen to the life stuff, is on the last episode, we did a little gift away for me reaching 1,000 subscribers. And interestingly, I've gone from not being able to get over 1,000 for ages, like just going up and down and up and down. And now I'm at over 1,100 pretty safely. So that was kind of exciting. But I did do the draw already. This is the lovely prize. Let me just, it is a skein of yarn indulgence. There's a few more things in here than last time. A little enamel pin of a sock, a skein of Red Island fibers, a quilted bookmark, a skein of Briggs & Little. So these are some of my favorite things, and a keychain that says keep calm and carry yarn, and a bag. So this is the Pea Pod. That's the name of this bag from Top Sale Canvas. So that's the prize, and it was open to anyone, anywhere. And the winner, I already did it and I screenshotted it, is at Karen Creations on, you see the ring light, at Karen Creations on YouTube. If that is you, I assume your name is Karen. If your name is Karen and you commented on my last episode, and you're not too busy baking because it said that was one of your favorite holiday traditions, can you email me, please? I will not ask you for any money. I will not put it in the comments. This is it. And email me at thefrontporchknitter@gmail.com, and I'll link it. It'll be down below in the how to reach me. And I will need your mailing address. And that's the only thing I will need, your mailing address. And now that Canada Post is back to work, I can mail it. So that's exciting. It's a good thing I didn't get around to doing this any sooner, because I wouldn't have been able to send it to you anyway, because Canada Post was on strike. So that's the giveaway. I'm pretty excited for someone else to get to use those fun yarns, because they are all fun, great makers. And to have that pea pod bag, also great. So what have I acquired? So since I spoke with you last, I went to Fiber Forge, which is a festival in Hamilton. They do it a couple times a year, I think. This was their holiday edition, and it's in a beautiful, it's in an old mill in, might be a cotton mill, I don't know what kind of mill it is. It's in an old mill in Hamilton, which is has always been a very industrial city. And so it's a beautiful building with beautiful floors, and the walls are, it's just has so much character. The only bad thing is that it's on like the 3rd or 4th floor. It is a lot of stairs if you walk the stairs, but they have this very lovely antique freight elevator, which you can take. And I went with a friend. We did take the freight elevator. It was crazy. Like, it was just rampant craziness. And the young fellows who operate it, because you can't operate it yourself, it requires an operator. They know a lot about the elevator and share, which is fun. Like, it makes it a fun experience. But boy, is it a bit weird to be in that. It's like a moving box, like literally a moving box. There's nothing fancy about it. It is a freight elevator. But that's cool. And they do a spring and a fall. Well, this might have been the first fall one. I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been twice this year, so that's what I know. And yeah, a lot of people I know were there, which is always fun. And it rained the whole day. It was kind of a miserable day, but that's okay. We had a good time. And my friend I took with me had just celebrated a big birthday that week. So I sort of let her go a little wild and do some birthday shopping, which was fun. It's always fun to, open up that door for somebody and to watch what they're doing and pick up some things. So I went to that. I also went to a craft show, 2 different ones, where although they weren't fiber specific, there were some fibery things there. So I got those. And a trunk show. And I got a Christmas present from my friend Heidi. Anyway, so let's get started. So these were mail ordered because, I was ordering that Gnome kit from Timber Yarns, and you can't just order, like, if you're going to order and incur the postage, you might as well order a couple of things. So I also ordered 2 of their twin sock sets. This one is Vintage Christmas. Sorry for the crinkling. And this one is just a one-of-a-kind. I think this one might have been one when they were just doing some sampling, testing things and it wasn't what they really were going for, but it's still pretty. And I got some hot chocolate. So I have that one. And what else do I have here? Oh, Firefly Haven Fibers had a trunk show at Little Red Mitten. And I picked up this color. It's called Asphalt. And it is a Superwash Merino Tussle Silk 50-50 blend and fingering. And I think it's going to be a Musselburgh. That's my thoughts for this one. I really like it. I like the colors. I like the way it feels. It's just really nice. Pam also was the person who was helping us with the embroidery. She facilitated the embroidery morning we did. And then with my other job, I got this at Hamilton Fiber Forge. from my friend Marissa at Dye Pretty. And this is called, it's 2 braids of fiber. They are a 65-35 merino silk blend, and it's her colorway Clownfish. You see that? I'm really excited to see how these spin up. And then I went to, actually was there with my other business that I do, and there was just a local church had a craft sale, and they there was a lady there with lots of bags, and she had this really cute one. It's a Dr. Seuss bag, which I thought was appropriate for me. And it's by Simple Means, that's her name, Come Lovely Things. And it's just it's a really basic single snap, has a couple of pockets on the inside. Probably meant to be a book bag for a little child going to the library or something like that. But I thought it would make the perfect project bag. So I got that. And I've already had projects in it, because, you know, that's the thing to do. Then I went to, when I was on the East Coast, we were in Fredericton, and we went to a craft sale at the university. And I think it used to be one of, like, they used to be called the Etsy craft show maybe, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was called. But it was funny because Heidi and I planned to go and then go for lunch. So I met, I parked, her husband dropped her off, and then we just met him for lunch later. And, you know, we figured we'd be there for a couple of hours, maybe an hour and a half, whatever. We get in, and all of a sudden we start meeting all of our fibery friends are there too that day. And we met 5 or 6 of them. And we knew one of our friends, Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine, was going to have a booth. And so, Sadie was also there from Top Sale Canvas. And I don't have it here to show, but I got my mom. My mom does her daily devotional every morning, and she has quite a bit of material. Like, she has her books and the people that the church is praying for and all these other things. Like, it's quite a project that she does. And she has it in a Ziploc bag. And she's very proud of the fact that it's been in the same Ziploc bag for like 9 years or something crazy like that. Anyways, I got her one of Sadie's little pouches, slightly smaller than the pea pod, but just the right size for everything to fit in. She's probably still using the Ziploc bag, to be honest. But anyways, I got her this really pretty pouch for it. And so she has that already. But then we went to Amanda's booth, and I want to make, you can look it up, I'll link it below, but I want to make, it's called Sleeve Vibes, and it's literally, it's kind of like a shrug, I guess, but it's long sleeves, and it's sleeves, but only comes to like here. There's no body. Like, it doesn't even go down all the way down to split for sleeves. It's less than that. And I got 2 skeins of Amanda's chicken bone colorway. If you don't know what a chicken bone is, I don't know if anyone else makes them, but Gnomes, which is a chocolate tier, look at how gorgeous that is, a chocolatier in New Brunswick, they make chicken bones, and they're hard candy on the outside, and the marrow of the bone, like the very middle, is chocolate. And the outside part is cinnamon. So it's cinnamon and chocolate. And they're like a hard candy. Anyways, we grew up eating them. Like chicken bones and Christmas. Like, I don't know if you can have Christmas without them. I can get them here, but they're not always easy to find. Right now, I have an inordinate number of them in my cupboard. And I do things with them, even like I'll drop one in hot chocolate, and they're delicious. But I do like to just eat them too. Anyways, but this for sure is the right colors. It's pink with chocolate and cinnamon. And so I want to make that with this. It's called Sleeve Vibes. And I can't remember who the designer is, but I'll link it below. So I got that. And then Amanda had this whole rack of these really cool pom-poms. I don't know if she made them or bought them. I have no idea what the story is on them, but look at that pom-pom. Isn't that cool? And now I haven't watched this movie yet, but have you watched the movie? I think it's called The Red One. It's on Amazon. Look at it. And there's a hat pattern. It's free on Ravelry, and I'll post it. And it's kind of this color. So I want to make it. This would be the brim. This is, this color is called Aran. It's just an off-white. It's Paton's Classic Wool. It's a worsted weight pattern. This color is Claret. And this would be the pom-pom. So just imagine this like a Santa hat. But not bright red, like this kind of red. And it's from the pattern. And or from the movie. Like the designer designed it for the movie. And there's also, I'll link them both. The other one is a color, this is plain. The other one's a color work patterned fancy hat that I will also link. But they're very cool. But this pom-pom is perfect for it. So I had to buy it. So I bought a pom-pom. I did buy that Claret. Paton's Classic Wool too. Then my friend Heidi, who is amazing, gave me this wonderful gift. And in it was this beautiful skein of yarn. It's called Candy Cane Lane. And I don't know if there's a mini twisted in with this or the mini is separate. No, the mini's separate. And it's 80/20 superwash sock. So it's going to micro stripe. And this is the mini in ruby. There was also a bag of stitch markers and stickers and all kinds of fun things. Then, and she knows me well, salted caramel chocolate bar. Hand cream, because you can never have enough. What else is in here? And hot chocolate with whipped cream, stitch markers, or needle stoppers. So that's going to be really fun. And then, because she's hilarious, and because when we're together, I almost always drive, because her back is bad, and driving is one of the things that is hard on it. Oh, she also gave me, and I balled it up, but I haven't started knitting it. This is from Yarn Therapist, and I don't have the colorway or anything here with me, but this beautiful self-striping and this orange mini. Balled up, ready to start. So those are going to be fun to work on. What else did I have going on? I had another project, but I don't know where I put it. Oh dear. Oh, here it is. And this is going to be just ignore me. I obviously can't find it. The colored picture. It went AWOL. But I started a cross-stitch project. And by started, I mean I have the fabric in the hoop. And it's a little red truck with a Christmas tree. I don't know where the colored picture is. Oh, it can't be too far away. So those are the big things I'm doing. But then, Hohi had a Black Friday, Hohi Locatelli, so Hohi & Co., her bag company. Oops, get closer so you can see me better. Had a Black Friday sale, and they dropped their whatever, they weren't perfects, so they were imperfects. And I love her bags, but it's very expensive to get them to Canada, like we've talked about before. And it isn't even the shipping. It's the fact that they're sold in American dollars and you have to convert and our dollar's not worth anything, and the duty. But when a bag is marked down because it is somehow imperfect, and it's marked down a lot, and I honestly can't tell you what's not perfect about it. This is the bag I got. It's one of her envelope bags in like a raspberry and pink. And it has a leather, like, so you can roll it down and snap it. I don't think it says anything on there. Just that it's an envelope bag. It's a good size bag. Like, it's for sure a sweater project size bag. It's pretty big. And it came with the crossbody strap, which is detachable. And it's this lovely suede. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out what is wrong with it. Like, I don't know. There's a couple of spots where there might be a scuff on the suede, but there's gonna be, like, the first time I use it anyway. But I can't figure out what the issue is with it. And they don't tell you, so never be afraid. I guess my message is, one, I'm so excited I have a Hohi bag now. Never be afraid of buying a second, because these makers are so exacting with what their standards are, that you might not even be able to see what the problem is with the bag, which is, I can't tell what the problem is with this bag. And the other thing is, always keep an eye out for, like, follow them on Instagram, read their stories, whatever, to know when these exciting things are going to drop. I used the Christmas money from my mom. Didn't pay for all of it, but I don't care. That's what I used to go do this. And it was here in a week from Buenos Aires, which is very, very exciting. So that's it. An hour and 2 minutes. Not bad for me. I want to wish everyone happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. Merry Christmas. That's what I celebrate. And Happy New Year and all the other celebrations that are going on right now. I hope that you have time with family, and if those things aren't good for you, that you find something that does bring you joy. I understand that not everyone wants to be with family over the holidays. It's important to me, but if it's not, I hope you find something that brings you joy and peace and relaxation. Hopefully, I will see you not too far into the new year. We have a few things going on. One, I will be taking my aunt back to Florida. I have to call her tonight to figure out what's going on with that. My husband just had knee replacement surgery, so I'm hanging out with him a lot the next few weeks. And yeah, I won't be going too far, so maybe I'll get a lot of knitting done. Yay! Well, I guess I'm going to Florida, which is far. But my kids are I have kids who are going to be here to cover me while I'm gone doing that. So enjoy, drop me a line, like, subscribe, be sure to comment. I just love reading the comments. It brings me so much joy. It makes me know that there's people out there and I'm not just talking to myself on a camera, because some days that's as good as it gets. Have a good one, everyone. Happy knitting, and bye for now.